Sometimes it's not the amount of things that you have going on or the amount of things that you're doing at once. Sometimes it's just about how you organize your day, how you organize your schedule. A lot of the times when you take the time and put everything that you have to do throughout the day and throughout the week and you just put it down on paper, you're gonna realize that you have a lot more time than you really think you do. And that's what I'm gonna talk about in this video. In this video, I'm gonna talk about how I manage my time. And I'll tell you this, I'm not perfect at it at all. I would say that I'm still working on it. I'm like 60 to 70% on the way. And within my own experience, I come to realize that putting my time and putting things that I have to do right on paper is like half the battle. Because a lot of the times when you're just guessing around or you don't really like gauge the amount of times you may need for certain activities, it just makes it really hard for you to balance more things when you start trying to jam pack more things for you to do to keep yourself more and more occupied as time goes on. Because if you're just guessing around and you're just piling on more and more things to do and you don't really have like a visual representation of what your time really looks like, it's just gonna feel like your time is cramped and you're gonna feel like everything is just limited and it's very hard for you to just do everything that you really want to do. Now, before we really get into making our schedule, we need to see like what is our main priorities. Because for me, I have two main priorities, my school and my job. And after that, I start to plug and play with other things that I need to balance in my schedule, like my gym, household responsibilities, and overall dedicating time to make more videos for my YouTube channel. Once you really have the main priorities down, you can see that it's going to be so much easier for you to just put certain time slots for when you have to do certain activities, or it will make it a lot easier for you to set a proper bedtime according to your schedule. Because the reality is, no matter how much you can scroll on the internet and look up people who wake up very early, or you can have the opposite side where you go on the internet and you see a bunch of people just staying up till like 3-4 a.m. That may not work for you. Sometimes it may work for you just to sleep at 12 a.m. and others it may work for them to just sleep at like 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. and wake up very early. It all really depends on you and what you have going on. So by you taking the extra step to putting your time on a piece of paper or putting your time in a way where you can really see it for yourself, where you have a visual representation of it. Now for me, what I use in order to make my own schedule, which I kind of want to call it a time blocking schedule, I don't know if that's the actual term for it or not, is I use Google Sheets. And you can also use other softwares like, Excel and etc. But what I do is, I make my own template. I create a chart for all the days of the week, and on the opposite side, what I do is I put every single time of the day from 12 a.m. all the way down to 12 p.m. As you guys can see in the schedule, it's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and the schedule is actually broken down to every half an hour. That way you can properly track travel time. Because I see a lot of the times that a lot of time blocking schedules you see when you're like searching on Google for a template, you notice that because they're only by an hourly basis, you can't really go in more detail like travel time, or let's say you go to uni like me and sometimes classes end by like 5:30 or 6:30. It becomes very difficult to really track those details, and believe it or not, 30 minutes adds up. And what you guys can also see is that with my schedule, you can see that the colors are very vibrant, and overall each activity is color coded. The reason why I do it, because a lot of the times when you're working with something that's aesthetically pleasing and is functional, you tend to stick with it long term. And that's the same thing that I chose to do when creating this Google Sheets, which is my time blocking schedule. You can see that now I can throw in as many activities as I want, and I can fit them properly within a time slot. And not only that, but when you get into minute details, when you get into smaller details, it really makes the schedule more authentic. Because when you're just working with a calendar, or you're just working with a schedule that's, separated by hourly or by morning, afternoon, or evening time, you don't really get that detail. You don't really get that, authentic schedule that you can really work with. When you go into detail like that, you get to really audit your time. Before I keep going with this video, if you like this video so far or find this video valuable and love content like this, be sure to subscribe and let's keep going with this video. Now that you know why time management is important, now that you know how to set your priorities, now that you have an example on how you can make a visual representation of your time, you need to now change your mindset from how much things you get to jam-packed in your schedule into now how you get to maximize the time that you have. And the thing is that no matter how much time audits that you want to do, no matter how much time blocking schedules you want to create for yourself, and no matter how much you want to play around doing Tetris with your schedule, the reality is that time is limited. And once you know that, you need to really think about how you get to maximize your time. And the first thing that I did is I cut out a lot of the activities that I used to do that would just take too much time. An example of this, a huge example, when I was playing video games, when I was playing Call of Duty top 3000 in the world for free for all, when I was playing Minecraft, when I was just hosting servers every single day of my life, all of these activities when it comes to playing games really does take a lot of time out of you. And the reason why it takes a lot of time out of you is because the games are going at a rapid speed. Competitive gaming is a very fast-paced game. While you may feel like you're just sitting there for 30 minutes or you just got home and got on the game, by the time you really shut off the game, it's already been 4 to 5 hours and it's time for you to eat dinner. And the point is that you need to maximize your time, and sometimes you really need to make sacrifices. Say you're a type of person to go to a lot of parties or just waste time doing absolutely nothing. And from my own experience, I get to tell you that sometimes I just procrastinate like there's no tomorrow. Sometimes I just forget to do everything. By sacrificing those bad habits, it will make it a lot easier for you to put in the activities that you really need to do, because now you have more time to work with. Now, here is the big thing that I see. A lot of the times I see that there's two types of people. There's person number one who looks busy and person number two who's actually being productive. And the difference between both of these people really comes down to the results. The results never lie. It's the same thing as if you're going to the gym and you're trying to lose weight or gain weight or whatever goals you may have. The bench never lies. The amount of weight you put on the bench will never lie. The weight on the scale will never lie. And overall, no matter how much you want to try to look busy, the results will not lie. And the reason I wanted to mention that is because I see that so frequently where people look very occupied on doing something, but the reality is that when the moment comes, when the time comes, they have nothing to show for it because they were just so busy mimicking other people being busy, so they look more sophisticated than actually being productive and being more proactive in whatever they want to do. The biggest takeaway I want you guys to have in this video is that you need to take the time to make a time audit for yourself. And this is very significant because once you get to make a time audit of your own time as is, then you get to see the time for what it is and you get to plug and play with your schedule to really see how you get to maximize the time to best help you become a better person. And that's exactly what I did. And if you like the schedule that I used, I left a template for you guys in the description in case you want the schedule for yourself. It's in an Excel format, even though I made it on Google Sheets. So if there's any changes from my picture of my schedule to, what you guys get, that's probably why. And the thing is that with the schedule that I made using Google Sheets, not only do you have the schedule on any device like your computer, your phone, tablet, etc., but if you really wanted to print it out, you can also print it out. And not only will the schedule look very aesthetically pleasing, but the schedule is very functional and it looks even better when you actually print it out. And the one thing that I will say is that if you are interested in the template that I have and you want to print it out, you need to select the cells and then print it from there. And also make sure that you have the setting to where it fits the whole page, because if you don't have that setting where you have the cell selected, or if you don't have the setting to where it doesn't fit the whole page, the schedule is just gonna look off and also may take another page. So for the best results, just make sure that you have these two settings on, and also use color ink. So yeah, if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in another video.